Hey guys, ZZ Coasters here, and this is my video, Top 10 Bucket List Coasters. These are the top 10 coasters around the world that I want to ride next the most. So, let's get right into the ranking. Before we begin the ranking, I'm going to start with some honorable mentions. Those will be Top Thrill Dragster at Cedar Point just for the launch, Alpengeist at Busch Gardens Williamsburg just for its drop and speed, which are crazy for an invert, Montu at Busch Gardens Tampa, which is supposed to be the best inverted coaster, especially for its intensity and crazy inversions, and I know it's not a coaster, but our last honorable mention is Zumanjaro Drop of Doom at Six Flags Great Adventure. According to Wikipedia, you're dropping for 10 seconds on 415 height of drop height. That's just a crazy stats for a drop tower, and that's why it's an honorable mention. Number 10 is Hakage at Nagashima Spa Land. This coaster is a huge RMC hybrid that's pretty long, and I picked this for number 10 because of its crazy speed and inversions. Especially that 0G stall, which looks like it gives some great hang time. It just looks like a great overall fun long RMC, and that's why it made number 10 on this list. Number 9 is El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure. This Intamin prefabricated wooden coaster looks like an awesomely intense coaster. That drop and first two hills looks like they would give some great ejector airtime, and that the whole ride would just be super forceful as a whole. It just looks like a super fun wooden coaster, and that's why it's number 9 on my bucket list. Number 8 is the Smiler at Alton Towers. This is the coaster with the most inversions, and it's a Gerstlauer Infinity coaster. I really want to ride this coaster for its crazy inversions and length. It just looks like it would be a really fun coaster to ride, and just one that I would have a lot of fun on. With 2 lift hills, it's a very long coaster, which allows for even more inversions. It's just a legendary coaster, and that's why it's number 8 on my bucket list. Number 7 is Intimidator 305 at King's Dominion. This coaster is known as the most intense in the world, and that's why it's number 7 on my list. It's supposed to have great positive forces and ejector airtime on the first drop and other hills. It just looks like it would be crazy, especially with that first turn and switchbacks being super intense and just making for an overall intense, crazy, and super enjoyable ride, which put it at number 7 on this list. Number 6 is Velocicoaster at Universal's Islands of Adventure. This coaster is an Intamin launch coaster that features a bunch of different inversions, including ones that give very intense airtime and positive forces, and 4 inversions. This coaster is on my bucket list because of its intense status, and its intensity and airtime is some of the best in the world, as well as its launch. This coaster just looks like it would be a really fun ride, and I've also heard that the Mosasaurus roll is one of the best inversions in the country. That's why it's number 6 on my bucket list. Number 5 is another international pick, Ride to Happiness at Plopsaland de Pont. This coaster looks pretty crazy. Like, imagine Copperhead Strike, but if you were spinning the whole time. Yeah, pretty crazy. It's launched spinning multi-looper that just looks like a really fun and awesome coaster that I really want to try out, and it would just be really cool. Number 4 is Fury 325 at Carowinds. This B&M Giga is known for its intensity, length, and incredible airtime, and those are the main reasons why I want to ride it. My favorite coaster at the time is Diamondback at Kings Island. and this thing just looks like a bigger and better version of it with lots of sustained airtime, which is what I like about Diamondback. This coaster looks like it would be a hugely fun coaster, which is why it made my top 4 on my bucket list. Number 3 is Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point. This coaster is known by many as the best coaster in the world, which is why it's so high on this list. It holds the record for airtime with having over 30 seconds of sustained airtime. That's crazy. It just really looks like a huge monster, and especially with its 200-foot height, and I really want to ride this coaster, so it'll definitely be number 1 on my list if I ever make it down to Cedar Point. Number 2 is Ijanika at Fuji-Q Highland in Japan. This was very close to Steel Vengeance for being number 2, but I eventually chose Ijanika as it's more of a bucket list coaster, as it's a rare type of coaster, and there's less chance I'll actually make it to Japan to ride this. So, this coaster is basically, I've heard, sort of a just insane version of X2, and it is crazy. This coaster is just an awesome coaster, and I really want to just get down there to experience this crazy coaster because this thing just looks insane. And finally, number 1 on my bucket list is Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa. This coaster looks like it has some great pacing. The death roll is insane, and it looks like it would give some great ejector airtime, especially on those elements like the wave turn and some of those hills. But it also just looks like a super intense RMC, and all those elements just combine to make a great coaster. And that's why this is number 1 on my bucket list. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Make sure if you like the video to leave a like, and if you like videos like this to subscribe to my channel so you know whenever I make a new video. Please leave a comment stating what your bucket list coasters are, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one.